Hello everyone, I'm Squallcasting. This is StarCraft 2. No further introduction is needed. In this game we have Stephano, the red Zerg, going up against MC, the blue Protoss. Stephano, of course, being the foreigner hope, the one that we hope wins, so that way it's not Koreans taking home every trophy and prize. But his opponent is MC, he is a Korean, so he's pretty darn good too. Have to see what happens, and quite often when I see a foreigner versus a Korean, it very much feels to me like some sort of David versus Goliath scenario, and you know, the foreigner just going, "Oh gosh, please don't crush me beneath your heel," and then the Korean player doesn't even hear them because they're about 30 feet up in the air, and just in the midst of them absolutely crushing StarCraft 2, they accidentally crush a foreigner in the process. Anyways, it feels that way a little bit, but if there's anyone who can take games off Koreans, it is definitely Stephano. Arguably one of the best foreigners in the scene at the moment. I mean, anyone that can take a game off someone like, say, Marine King Prime is either incredibly good or incredibly lucky, or both. So, yeah. So it looks like Stephano is gearing up for a hatch first here, or a spawning pool first. Okay, he tricked me, but that's alright, he's Stephano. And I guess he wouldn't actually go for that with the probe there, because MC would be able to just scoot on down and prevent that. So Stephano didn't want to get caught with his pants down in that regard, so put down the spawning pool first. And it looks like MC's just going to block it anyways. If I would have to guess, I would guess Stephano's just going to go down to third and just take that, as that's a pretty typical reaction at this point. And sees that, and okay, well, I guess he does want to take it then. Is he going to produce some Zerglings out, or... Okay, now he's running away. Whoa, careful down. Does get away. Spawning pool is almost finished, so might see him make a Zergling or two here, but... Oh, wow, is MC going to block this too? Oh, just barely blocking it. Wow, that is such a pain. And Stephano just struggling to get these bases down. Wow, those two probes want that drone's blood. 6 hit points now, so he can take a single hit now. And wow, oh, MC pincering in the drone and killing it. Stephano in an incredibly awkward position as he has so much money saved up and doesn't even have a single expansion going yet. MC, on the other hand, has his Forge fast expand going down. Did get the Forge first, just to remain safe in case Stephano went, I don't know, one base Ling all in. I don't even know if that exists, but didn't want to die that, but Stephano will now finally get his natural down. So definitely a little bit behind. MC just doing that harassing game very nicely. Well played on his part. But I wouldn't be too terribly surprised to see Stephano take this third in, a minute of in-game time. And yeah, it looks like he's already sending a drone down there for that purpose. So he won't be able to catch up before too terribly long once he gets queens at all those and he's pumping drones out like a boss. And these Zerglings might catch this SCV on the way home. Yep, they do. And they're just going to take the Watchtower. Might move a few of them down just to check on things. And, oh, going to catch this probe that was moving on out. Nice little, nice catch by Stephano to get sight of that. And he will be able to intercept that probe before it can really do much of anything. Got the Queen transfer going on. This one's heading on down to the natural. In all likelihood, he'll produce... or he's just going to move down to the third. Quite a long run, but... Oh, he's using it to intercept the probe a little bit. I didn't quite get it, but that's okay. Anyway, so the natural finishing up in just a second. MC continuing to wall off. Cybercore nearly done, getting +1. That's pretty cool. I do love seeing upgrades early. And we could see MC go for some sort of +1 timing attack then. Personally, I don't see those too terribly often anymore, but they still can be really potent. And MC did slow down Stephano's economy a lot, so he could be banking on the fact that Stephano won't have income for, his income will be slower in getting going, and he might be able to hit a good timing and potentially kill the third. Let's see what he wants to do. That probe could very likely have been that he wanted to put down a hidden pylon like here or something, but obviously didn't get to accomplish that, but he still has a while before Warp Gate is done, and we'll have to see if he does decide to go for some sort of timing, or if he just wants to get started on those upgrades early and then pack up. Stephano, on the other hand, is just droning like crazy, just now starting to get gas. He did throw down both those gas geysers at the same time, and that's pretty typical of what you'd see in this style of play. You don't get any gas for a long time until you have your 3 bases up. You drone like mad, and then you start getting the gas. And the Stalker will be able to cruise around and poke and prod a little bit, as these Zerglings do not yet have speed, so they cannot catch Stalkers off of creep. But looks like MC, for the moment, content to hold the watchtower or not, deciding to move up. And we'll see if he tries to poke away. I mean, a single Stalker isn't going to accomplish all that much. More than anything else, it's just to kind of keep Stephano on his toes. Maybe make him produce 1 or 2 units, but Stephano isn't falling for the bait. He has made a handful of Zerglings. That's a bit of an interesting choice. It looks like he will be able to force the Stalker away. All very typical. So the 3rd gas is down for Stephano here. Hasn't made any here yet. And looks like he's going for missile attacks. So going for some sort of roach build. Or at the very least, using roaches in his composition. So, interesting. Let's see where he goes with that. I'm a bit more used to seeing a Ling Infestor style. But that said, tons and tons of roaches can be good against Protoss too. Ling Infestor, I guess, is arguably a bit more common in ZvP. And yeah, I've got a big swell of roaches coming out now. Also getting that roach movement speed. We'll see if he gets burrow or anything like that. That would be pretty cool if we decide to do some burrow movement shenanigans. But for the moment, just adding on a few more lings and roaches. And with him producing this many units, I feel like he might want to attack soon, because he's not fully saturated here yet, but he's making units. Pretty close to saturated, I guess, actually. 67 drones, I guess that sounds about right. It looks like for the moment he's just checking around for proxy pylons. Always a good thing to do. Although I don't know if he necessarily needs to do that with his entire army, but still a good decision. MC, on the other hand, is getting Immortals out. Interesting. Does he have an Observer? Yes, he does, and he sees the Roaches, so Immortals are, of course, incredibly good versus Roaches. But MC's standing army is pretty tiny, like 7 sentries, 11 sentries, wow. Yeah, I don't know, a whole bunch of sentries there. So he will have tons and tons of force fields, but his actual damage output's going to be pretty darn low. So Stephano might be able to accomplish a bit with this, especially with that exposed 3rd. Now, there are so many sentries there, though, so we'll be able to do a ton of force fields. But Stephano's coming in from 2 angles. All these sentries are out of position, and wow, all the Zerglings getting in on the sentries, having to throw down some good force fields to protect the sentries. But this group here, getting on in. MC out of position, can't deal with that. Starting to throw down some sentries now, or force fields now, pardon me, to partition off some of the roaches. Those roaches get absolutely melted, and wow, Stephano's attack just not being quite as effective as I thought it would be. Some very good force fields out of MC. But Stephano isn't done just yet. Looks like he wants to move on up yet again. More force fields going down, trying to kill some of the sentries. But MC has 3 Immortals out now, and that is going to absolutely devastate roaches. And I don't know if Stephano can continue with it. He's trying to kill the 3rd, but I don't think he's going to be able to pull it off. Not with all those Immortals. And it looks like it's just going to barely stay up. Oh man, it's getting low, but nope. Still alive, but oh man, even more Zerglings. Stephano has just turned on the aggression. He's not letting up. He can actually run in. Oh, doesn't realize that quite in time. And MC pulls the Zealot back to block the entrance. And Stephano just posturing at the front a little bit. And needs to pull back. That's a bit too much stuff. But pushing here yet again. But MC defending on 2 fronts very nicely. And I feel like Stephano hasn't really accomplished all that much yet with these attacks. I mean, look at that unit loss tab. That is brutal. And oh man, Stephano just walking units into the fire of these Immortals. So nice to see Stephano playing nice and aggressive, but it's just not quite working out. And MC has a really good composition at both bases to deal with this. This group has less sentries, but he doesn't need as many for this area here. More sentries here, but he needs it because it's a wider area. So dividing up his army very nicely, controlling it all very well. And I don't think Stephano can really break that now. He is getting Pathogen Glance, so that's Overlord movement speed, I do believe. Or, excuse me. It's Infestor Energy. I should know this by now. Okay, so he is transitioning into Infestors. always a good unit to mix in virtually every matchup, especially when you're using this many Zerglings. You want to be able to pin units in place and generally prevent them from moving around, and the Zerglings can just do their damage without having to run around. And Stephano has taken a 4th base, so he is staying up on bases, but he has to be a little bit worried at this point, because 3 base Protoss is kind of terrifying. He is getting a Spire. Interesting, so could be he wants to gear up towards Broodlords eventually. I don't feel like he's going to really do too much with Mutas. I think you would usually see it a little bit earlier. But that said, MC doesn't have Blink, so Mutas could swing in from the side and potentially deal some damage. So we'll have to see where Stephano goes with that. And he isn't making a Hive yet, so I guess he is thinking of making Mutas. Because you'd want to get your Hive started if you're going to go straight to Broodlords, so okay, interesting. Anyway, so Stephano has a pretty beefy force here now. MC's force, though, is definitely strong as well, even though it's a little bit divided up. Take a quick stock of the upgrades. So just 1 missile attacks and 1 melee and armor finishing up now. So essentially their armies are about even, and Colossi are starting to come out now. Oh, that... Of course that's why he's getting the Spire, to get Corruptors to deal with the Colossi. Duh. Oh, man. I haven't cast anything in quite a while here, as I'm sure you can tell. First MLG, then DreamHack. All the tournaments are killing my ability to cast, which is a little bit counterintuitive. You think watching awesome casters would help me become a better caster, and it does to an extent, but I find I need to be actively doing it myself to really stay on form. In any case, so Hive is on the way now, so and the 2nd Spire going down. Okay, so he's definitely going for Broodlords. You wouldn't get 2 Spires if you were just getting the Corruptors to deal with those Colossi. So we'll have to see if Stephano can live long enough, though, to get to that Broodlord switch. And his army right now just isn't sufficient to deal with all this stuff in MC. He does catch a few units out of position, but tons of really good force fields just lead to an absolute Zergling barbecue, as you can see from the scorched land there, and all those little puddles of blood. And Stephano definitely has to be a little bit worried. He is making a big surge of Corruptors now that will help him deal with the Colossi. But I feel like with all the Stalkers, Immortals, and Sentries that have been building energy for most of the game, I don't see any way that Stephano can defend this 3rd. And if this goes down, he's going to be in a world of trouble. So still just posturing around here, not sure what he wants to do. 3rd does go down. 4th has been detected and is being killed right now. And Stephano is in an absolutely awful position. And there we go. Force field's going down, only trapping a few units. He has some Spine Callers to help buy time. And a big offensive blink forward, but so many force fields, and Stephano just can't attack in effectively. He is starting to kill some of the Colossi, but he's lost so much stuff. Look at that supply. He's 50 supply down. And I just ran out of oxygen because I was talking way too fast. The battle still rages, and Stephano getting whittled down to a mostly roach force, starting to flood out a bunch more roaches, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. That said, though, he is starting to equalize with MC's supply. MC blinks forward, though, and these Immortals are doing so much work. 17 kill Immortal, 21 kill Immortal, 19 kill. Wow. Those Immortals had paid enormous dividends for MCs, and these Zealots finished killing the 4th, and they are coming up now to assist with the battle. And Stephano, with the well played, good luck, and GG's out of the game. So thank you guys for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. In case I forgot to mention, this was indeed from the Red Ball land, so big thanks to Day9 and everyone else involved in that event. And of course, thank you to them for releasing the replays, so the average Joe caster like me can cast them. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.